In this video, I will show you how to create social media posts in 5 seconds with a single email and publish them on all social media platforms. This system can be expanded as needed and even connected to a database where you can manually review or edit the posts. This way you can save countless hours on creating and publishing social media posts. Let's get started. How can we create social media posts via email? First, you need an account with make.com. This is relatively simple and you have up to 1000 process steps in the free account, which is sufficient for testing or for relatively infrequent use. Then you can get started right away. First, we need to create a new scenario. To do this, click here on create a new scenario. Then click on the plus, type emails and then on get emails. Next, we need to establish a connection. If you don't have one yet, click here on add, then connection type. And here you need to choose which email provider you have. If you have a Google email address, you need to enter Google restricted here. If your email is from Microsoft or another provider, you select the one you need for yourself. I have another email provider, that's why I click on others and IMAP. Then you can type in a name. Then I choose other as email provider. Here you need to type in which IMAP server you have. For example, I use the provider checkdomain.de. However, you can easily find your own provider by searching for IMAP and then the name of your provider. To get the information, I click here on emails. I select my email address. You probably only have one here. Then click on server information and it will show you the incoming server and the outgoing server. Since we are receiving this email, we take the incoming server, copy it, paste it here, and we can leave IMAP 993 as it is. Use the secure connection TLS, so we say yes. Here you type in your email address and the password of the mailbox you want to use and then click on save. Next, we select the folder. We say inbox, which means every time an email comes in, this trigger will be activated. We can also choose whether we want the message marked as read. We say yes. Here we can create specific criteria. We select all emails under criteria and then click OK. If you want, you can test it by sending an email to the added email address in the email. We can then enter the topic for which we want to create a social media post. For example, how to create a business plan. Now we can check if the emails are being pulled in. Right click here and then run this module only that work correctly. It will show us the text content, how to create a business plan. Next, we click on the plus and say add another module. Then we click here on OpenAI. If you don't see it, just type OpenAI or ChatGPT, then click on it and say create a completion. Next, you need to establish a connection. If you don't have it, just click on add. Here you enter a name of your choice. You need to obtain the API key from the official ChatGPT website. To do this, go to the website platform openai.com, create an account if you don't have one yet, then click on settings, then on your profile, copy the organization ID and paste it here. Then click on settings again, then click on the tab organization overview. Next, go to API keys, then create a new secret key. Let's call it test. Select the project. If you haven't created a project yet, you need to create one here under projects, then create secret key, copy it, paste it here and click save. After adjusting the name, I have already done this, so I will leave it as it is. Once you have established the connection, click on model. We select GPT-4o mini, which is the cheapest model. Then we go to add message. Here we can now choose the next role. We click on system and say that it should create a social media post on the following topic. And when we click on that, various fields are already suggested that we can take from the previous module. We click on the text content. If we want, we can also specify the maximum number of tokens. We will leave it at 0 for now, then click OK. We can test the module individually by right clicking and then run this module only and pasting the text from the previous email here, or we can run it directly from here. Once it has run, we can see what the result is. It looks good so far. Now we need a suitable image to publish publish this with the social media posts. There are various options for this. For example, we can download standard images from a third-party interface and use them here. I might show that in a later video. Here I want to use AI generated images. For that we first need a prompt. So we click here again on add another module, click here again on OpenAI, then create a completion. We select GPT-4o mini again, then add message, again system, create a prompt for image generation for the following post. Then we pass the previous result, max tokens again 0, then click OK. Now we can test the module again. Now we can take the result from the previous answer, paste it here, then click OK. This is the result. It's quite long. We can improve the prompt a bit by saying it should create a short prompt. So short prompt, or for example mention that the prompt is for an AI generator. You can experiment a bit since this is a demo. I will leave it as it is. Next we need to generate the image. Then we say OpenAI, generate an image. We select the model DALL-E 3 and take the prompt from the previous model, click OK. Now we can test this module. For that we can use the result from the previous module, result, paste it here, click OK. Then we have the image here. If we want to view the image, we can open the link. This is what it looks like. As I said, we can use any other model, for example, Flux. Now we have this social media post and the image. Now we can package everything together and publish it on social media. For example, on Facebook. To do this, we click here on plus, then we search for Facebook. We want to publish it on Facebook pages, show more, and click on create post with photo. If you haven't done this yet, you need to create a connection here, click add, enter name, then click save. Then you will be guided through the login process. This is relatively simple. I have already done this. Then you can select the page on which you want to publish it. Then we need to connect the photo we created. To do this, click on add item. Then we need to change this option from upload a photo to download photo from URL. Next we need to add the URL from the previous step. Click on data and then URL. In the caption we can write anything, which we might also have created with a prompt here, or simply leave it blank. I will write test, and then we need to add the message field we created in the first step. Then we click OK. Now we can test everything and click OK, run once, then our post will be published automatically. If you want, you can also publish it on Instagram and LinkedIn. The procedure is the same. If you want different posts on each platform, you can of course design them differently by adding a router. To do this, we right click here, say add router, then we can move this here to the left, just like this. Then we connect everything with this router, and if you want to customize the post for each platform, you just need to repeat the step we did at the beginning. This means that we insert ChatGPT here and tell it to adjust the respective post for Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. However, for LinkedIn, you need to add a small intermediate step. You need to add this HTTP module, so just click on plus and then search for HTTP and then on get a file. And here you need to add the URL from the previous steps, so from generate an image and then this URL. I have already done this, so I delete this again. Then click on LinkedIn module again and make sure that the file is getting pulled from the HTTP module. And that's it. This is how you can easily create social media posts via email. You can of course expand this by storing everything in a database beforehand and publishing the post on specific days. For that, a no-code database like Airtable or Aitable will suffice. You would then need to create a second flow that extracts the created posts from Airtable or Aitable and publishes them. I might do that in a later video, but with this workflow a lot of time can already be saved. If you have other processes you would like to automate, feel free to write them in the comments. Maybe I can create it in the next video. Thank you for watching.